Yeah. I feel like these are a little too far back. For us short people, these, I know you can't see them, but there's two mats right here for people like me to put their feet on, because this pad is like 4 inches thick. And when you're short, like me, 5'4", you either can't reach the bar or you can't really reach the floor. They might think that sounds kind of awesome, but trust me, it's a whole other feel for people like me. Unless you're short yourself, then you know. Yeah. Let's hit this. I think I'm only going to do like 4 reps and then go up. I would go for a PR today since the day is heavy day, but I've done so many reps, so that ain't going to happen. We'll hit 305 though. We'll go a little heavy, I guess. Maybe 310. I doubt that though. Last week we did 310 for one, and then I went up to 330. And then when I did, I was making a short of it. But my fucking phone kept saying that permissions was being used by something else. I was going through my phone. I spent like 10 minutes going through my phone trying to figure out what the fuck was using my camera. And I just completely restarted the whole fucking thing. And then when I did, it let me record, but I'd been fooling with it for 10, 15 minutes, something like that. So when I lifted off on it, I was doing pretty good, smooth sailing. I get that 330 down on my chest, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm gonna pause it. I don't know why I did that. But then I paused it for like a second, 2 seconds. So pretty good pause. Pushed up on it. It went up a little bit, and then back down it went. So I haven't had to roll a bar off of me in probably 7 or 8 years. I rolled it down to my chest. I said, I ain't doing it on my stomach. I dumped that bitch. Dumped that bar clean off. Plates went that way, plates went this way. About 10, 15 minutes later, I told the owner of the gym, I said, that right there is why I don't use a power rack, you know? Because the bench was being used, so I couldn't use it. So I had to use a power rack. And I was actually enjoying it up until that moment. And I can't stand a power rack. I just cannot stand it. Power rack, power cage, whatever you want to call it. I cannot stand it. Dude. Now, let's see. I've been doing different shit, so I'm trying to keep up with what I've been doing. Because I'm trying to pretty much switch everything. But, yeah, it's time for the 35. Fuck it. I just feel like 35 on. But, been changing up everything, so trying to see what we do. Like last week, on heavy flat bench, you know, I 1 rep every day, even 225. Normally, I'll warm up with 225 for like 14, 15 reps, but I've been wanting to switch up. And by doing the 1 rep, you're not as, I guess you could say, burning up as much energy. So when you get higher in the weight, of course you can push more. So that's why I've been doing 1 reps. Because like today, right now we got 295 on there, and if you were to say, Rick, hit that. Put 310, 315 on. It ain't happening. 310 might. It might. We've done so many reps. Now, obviously, I'm going to do 2 more chest workouts, and I'm going to go heavy on them. they're completely different than flat bench, so they're not the same. We're going to do heavy back, heavy buys. We're going to do a little bit of tries. But I've also been cutting out alcohol and not doing back. Oh yeah. I thought it was getting reupholstered. But what we're going to do is just like last week, I went to 5 plates on the rows, but then the seated rows, we're only going to go to 2 or 3. I've been switching shit up, I don't want to go too heavy, but not too light either. But then, And then shoulder day, we completely changed that shit. I completely rearranged it to where my main shoulder workout is right there. So that's pretty cool. And it's been a lot better. You gotta switch shit up. Alright, I'm probably gonna do like 1 or 2 reps and then go up. Then we'll go up to 3, I guess. If I do 2, we might throw on 310. We might slap that on. But we're gonna slap on 305 anyway. We're at 295, let's go. Maybe 2 reps probably. I don't want to use too much, but I don't want to use too little either. Here's 3. So we're going to hit this 3 first. Recently, I usually never do a lot of rest around, but when I'm going heavy, 30 to 40 second rest periods really help. And 1 or 2 reps of this. 300. Let's just do 1. And we'll 1 rep our way to 310 probably. I think we got 310 for sure. But if I was doing the 1 rep shit, instead of doing this, the only reason I'm doing so many reps is just I don't want to stick with just doing 1 rep. Like this week, I'm going for reps. Next week, or maybe on our light day, the 4th day of the week, we might do our 1 reps then if we feel like we still do it. But by that 4th day straight, it's kind of just looking around the room for shit to do. It's kind of sporadic. And we do a 5th day, it's nice, very nice, but it's also sporadic. That's good. At least 1. I do want to go up, so I'm going to probably put it on just 300. This is hard. Hey. Did that too easy, so we got to move up. You see me grinding that bar like this? Like I'm revving it up? I'm digging it into my calluses so I have better grip. You can see where the bar sits. There's big thick calluses. This right here is where dumbbells sit. And then right here is where like a straight bar will sit. So I dig it into my calluses to lock it into my skin. That way, you have a better grip. Let's see. Okay, let's just jump to 305. That's what we're going to do. probably make me struggle a little bit. I guess you could say I was kind of, I don't want to say I was struggling the last week, but I was definitely feeling it, I'd say. Let's go ahead and jump over here. Fucking still got the Hemis, and I'm really trying to let them recuperate, but I also don't want to take that time off my gym. What I've been doing is just using the fucking boot wipes and keeping my ass full of fucking cortisone cream. And right now, right before I came, I fucking shot that full of my ass. But it helps a bit. Alright, so now we got let me make sure I put a 5 on there. Alright, cool, we got to go to 5 on there. And I think I'm going to get the other weights to get us up 310. Some of my favorite plates are these colored ones. And their fucking increments are like half pounds, quarter pounds, 1 pounders, 1.5 pounders, stuff like that. And it really helps you get that weight up there. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit this. 1. And we'll probably jump to 3, 7.5, something like that. Fix the bar. If it's off center, it really throws off the lid. So let's go. Hey. There we go. So let's go up to 3.7.5, I guess. Which honestly, that last rep right there was pretty good. So, that just goes to prove my theory on the 1 rep days. Accurate. You know, like I said last week on heavy days, we just did 1 rep of every increment until we got up there on the bench. Even though we fell at 335 last week, but 330, sorry. Even though we failed at that, doesn't mean shit. Because we're not hitting nowhere near 330 today. We'll be good to hit 310, yeah. But, like I said, maybe the 4th day straight, we'll do our 1 reps, which, when you think about it, we're not going to hit 330 then either. We might. But, 4 days straight of constant blasting. And then on that 4th day, trying to 1 rep our way back up to what we did last week, it's going to be a challenge. So, but I'm still going to do it because I love the 1 reps. But, next week, we're going to focus on just 1 rep, you know? 1 rep up, 1 rep up. Just like last week, and that shit was fucking awesome. So, shit really helped. Fucking, I was on power rack, and I fucking hate power racks. Power cage, whatever. I hate them. But, fucking had a good workout. Until that bitch fell down on me. I might post a video of it falling on me. I mean, technically it didn't fall on me, it came back down on me. And I think if I would have dipped around for 10, 15 minutes, fucking with the camera, I think I would have had it at 330. But, you know, because it went halfway back up. It went down smooth, and my dumb ass was like, I'm going to pause it. I shouldn't have paused it. I don't know why I fucking did that. But, lesson learned, next week I won't be pausing. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There we go. I like all my plates smashed together real good and tight. Unless it's only like a 45 on there, I don't really give a shit. As long as it ain't all the way out here and all the way here. I don't mind a little baby room, but Have your weight, hell yeah. Now we're going to dig our hands straight to this bar like sandpaper. Make the calluses feel really good. Yeah. Go. Right. We might not have 310 in us today. We might not. See that shit I'm talking about? Notice this gap here? That's like an inch gap. Right here, another inch. I like to keep them smushed together because it throws off the balance, for sure. So there's 7.5. Fuck it. Let's go 310 for one. Wait a minute. There we go. On the way here, fucking Rod Stewart was playing on the radio. I'm a little amped up off of that. I got me some after the gym snacks with me. I got me a nice big fat, what is it? Banana and honey protein shake waiting in the fridge for me right over there. And I got me a tub of watermelon like that damn big waiting on me over there. So about 3.5, 4 hours, I'm gonna have me snack time. In about 2, I think I'm gonna bang out that shake though. That's fast. I can't eat as soon as I get up. And I get up, and then maybe 10 minutes after being up, I come straight here. So, damn, what the fuck did I do? There we go. But yeah, come here at 10 minutes, 15 minutes after I get up, something like that. I usually take a shit, just sit there for like maybe a good minute, and then I get here. Starting off real light with the 5s. I'm doing 30 reps. And 4 days straight, I focus on, curls and shit. The 4th day, it's just 50 reps of the 20 standing, 50 overhead of the 20 standing, 50, 25 standing curls, 50 overhead, standing. And then sit down, do another 50 of the 20s and overhead of the 20s. And then another 50 of the 25. And then we blast out more weight increments throughout the day. But right now we're going from 5s to probably 65s. Maybe 70. Sometimes I like to go give them a dub. We'll see. I'm happy with just hitting the 65s for a few reps, but if it feels good, we might try hitting 70s for 2, 1 or 2. A lot of people will talk shit about overhead tricep extensions with dumbbells, but shit, I like them. I think they're more beneficial to do single, of course, isolated, but fuck it, Let's go hit this pec deck. My favorite machine here, well, for chest, pec deck and cable flies. Fucking great ass workouts. But start off only with 100. And we'll go all the way to the whole span for a couple sets. Make sure handles in the right position. They are, of course, sweet. Really, after this push and pull is done, I'm probably going to stop heavy on bench 30. And I think I'm going to just focus on pec deck, table flies, and incline. I think that'd be more beneficial for what I'm wanting to do anyway. But we got a push and pull coming up, so We'll train for that, and then fucking after that's done, we'll go and we'll stop doing flat bench completely probably. I've been thinking about doing it for a while to stop it, but with that pushing pull coming up, might as well keep going, you know. Another 30 reps of the 10s now. And another 30 overheads. You'll definitely get more out of that movement isolated than you will double, but you know, it is what it is at this point. Let's get back over here and do another set of just the 100-pound for pec deck, and then we'll go up from there again. I like to do at least like 1 or 2 sets of every weight on the pec deck, except for like the super lightweight. You know, I just start with 100. Now I'm doing rear delts, fucking 45s, all the way to the 175. It's pretty slick. I will go super light on rear delts starting off. Get them good and warmed up. Now, last rep I did last set, I used the handle. This time I'll grab it up here. And I feel like that's hitting a little bit of my upper right there by holding it here, as whereas holding it from the handles, mostly just my middle. And that is why I love the cable flies, because you can hit all 3 muscle groups of your chest. That's why I say pec deck and cable flies are my favorites. And incline. Can't forget that. Whew. Alright, I'm gonna hit the head real quick. That means a lot of water, so I got crystal light, huh? Now we're going up to the 15s. And one thing I do is, for some reason, when I get to 20s, you would think that I would do like maybe 3 sets of 10 or whatnot, but hell, I'll do like 20 straight and then come back and do 10 again. Or I might just do the whole 30 straight. We'll see what day is it. It's going to be a heavy day. We're going heavy on chest, back, and buys, and a little on tries, not crazy. Let's go ahead and get us another 30 reps. And all these reps I'm doing, you can say, oh, well, you're burning yourself out until you get up there too heavy. A little bit. But I'm not going to really focus on 1 repping dumbbells, you know. Or 5 reps. I'm not going to focus on going too low in reps. Unless I was like on 50s, then I'll do like 5 reps. And 55, same shit. You know, as you get heavier, then I'll focus on lower reps, but not at the moment. Me and an old friend one time, you know, we discussed when would you actually classify it as heavyweight? Like, would you say the 25 to 30 range? And he was a big boy, 250. Motherfucker was strong too. I've got a video of me and him at the gym together. He's hitting 510 on what was it, incline, 510 pound press on incline. And anyhow, I spotted him on that. He was a big motherfucker, you know. And he said 25s. At the time, I said 30 was the beginning of heavyweight. But he even said 25. And now as time has went on, I'll have to say that the 25 is probably more accurate for the beginning of heavyweight than 30s. 30s, you're already in that heavy range. And I'm not saying heavy as in hard to do. I just mean as in physically, that's a good bit away as a heavyweight. I'm not saying it's hard heavy for you, but heavy in general. It's what we were discussing. So now we've jumped up a little bit in weight. 15 bottom, 15 on top. Do 20. See, sometimes I do shit like that, and I go off of the set amount of reps, which ain't a big deal, but you can never really count how many I've done, because sometimes I'll throw in extra. Would sound kind of cool. A cat rendition of it. Alright, so now on to the 20s. And I might take the braces off. I don't know. We'll see. I love a good knee brace, but here recently, if you're not hurt, then I mean, I'm not crazy about it, I guess. I should have shit him on bench, for sure. In 20 days, we're going to come back and do these again for another 10. So every increment up till 40s gets 30 reps total. So that's a shit ton of reps. And then once we get to like 40s, then we'll do like 2 sets of 8, 45s, 2 sets of like 8 again, 50s, 5s, 55s, 5s, 60, 4, sets of 4, and 65, 2 to 4 reps a set. 70s, 1 or 2, depends on how you feel. And I'm not saying clean either. I'm not saying once we get to 65, they're going to be super clean or not. But I'm still going to fucking throw it. Many people will say, oh, that's bad form. That's bad form. Well, fuck yeah. I mean, but I've been doing this for over a decade. I know what's going to hurt and what's not going to, When I get up there in those weight like dumbbells, don't try to mimic what I'm doing. You see me throwing a fucking 70 up. Don't do that. I know how much I can throw it, how much I can get. So shit you learn over time. might be saying, why ain't you pausing that? Why ain't you pausing that? I'm not really going to focus on pause on 115. Now, at like 175, yeah, I'll pause that. I'll give it a good squeeze, you know. At 190, we definitely will. But pec deck is my favorite, or one of them, because it's a simple, easy ass movement. Pretty nice. Same thing goes with lateral raise. I love a good lat raise on the fucking machine over here we got. It's pretty badass. I love them on dumbbells. I love them on good cable. I love lat raises in general. Alright, fuck it. Let's go over here and finish this last set of 10. And then it's time to move on to the 25s, but then we gotta go back and do the pec deck in between. I'm glad to see that a lot of people now are bouncing back and forth, especially at the gym that I'm at. You know, I see people all the time now. They'll do what I'm doing and back and forth, you know, and I like that. A lot of people will talk shit about back and forth, but with my arms, I just did bicep curls and overhead tries. So my biceps are resting, chest can be working. By the time my chest is done working, biceps back in movement, chest is resting. You see what I'm saying? I had a guy tell me the other day, he was like, oh, let's not get in Rick's way while he's doing his supersets. And really, I don't call what I do supersets. You know, because he's a cool guy, but he's like an average lifter, you know. He's not really trying to put on any size, or he's not really trying to cut up. He's mostly just trying to stay fit and healthy, you know. So for somebody like him, if you're just trying to stay fit and healthy, then, you know, you could get on do some curls and then rest for a minute and do some more curls. You could do that. Hell, I could do that, but I'm not going to. Get a little pause in there, something to play with. And we might do another set of that, and we might go up. We are going to go up, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and hit some more curls, because now we're on to the 25s. Hey. I'll be right back. Put up some weights. Back. And I'm trying to start these 10 reps. Maybe do 15. 2 sets of 15 probably would be better. Yeah, 15 is good. You know what, let's do 20. There we go. Now see, by me doing that right there, I may have fucking hurt myself with heavier. So that's why I try to go between, I said 15 So we still got a shit ton more weights to do. But we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go to 70s probably. See how it goes. And you know what? I thought I was gonna do another set of this, but I really want to get up there and weight, so. I won't go from 145 to 175. I don't really do 3s or 6s. And I really don't do 9s, but the whole stack ends on 9, so I'll do it. And now when we get back over here, it's time to do the whole stack, so. Which isn't hard to do. Woo, ooh, woo. Hell yeah. Now we did 20, so let's go ahead and finish this up with 10. Then on to the 30s. There we go. So, I did the 20 before, and I did 10. That was felt kind of useless. But it's all good though. You see the number of weights is what the number of reps is what we're going at. 30, 60, 90, 120, or 90, yeah, 150, 60, 70, 80, so 180 reps altogether right there. And we're nowhere near done, so that's what a lot of it is I like to do a lot of reps. That's pretty much everything. But this depends. I gotta keep taking the weights off this bench real quick. I'll take y'all back over there. I think I deleted one I did last night, the Fortnite. I think I did that. I may have left it up. I don't know. But I did do it for a little bit. Somebody recently told me that they're doing TikTok now. And I told them, I was like, I don't do nothing like that. I don't even have Facebook anymore. And I used to use Facebook for Marketplace, not to talk to anybody. But I got rid of all of it. It's just healthier that way. I know it hinders me. You know, like, I don't have no Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatnot. I do have a Reddit, but I'm not really on it. But I'm about to get to that too, probably. Time for music. I was getting too angry in the mornings. You know, I'd get on there like everybody else does. You know, nowadays you check your phone as soon as you get up. Scroll, check the emails, all that good stuff. You know, I get on there. First thing I do is check my YouTube Studio app, see what's new, and then I get on the old Facebook doom scroll, basically. And it's nothing but political stuff and people killing each other. And I don't want to hear about that as soon as I wake up. Made me instantly mad. Ruined my whole day. Well, it's a bad way to start your day. So I said, the hell with it, uninstalled. Only had like 3 people on Facebook anyway. I didn't talk to none of them, so no loss for me. Only one I think I'd be interested in doing, if it was still around, would be MySpace. I think that'd be the only one I'd be interested in doing. If you want to get technical, that's where I started at in the first place, was MySpace. Alright, so we got one more set of chests to do, and then it's on to back. So let's go over here and hit this. Now usually on every day, I'll either go here or the one behind it. It don't really matter. Because tomorrow's heavy shoulder day anyway, and I'm starting to like shoulder day. Probably the best. Because I go over here on this machine and I do lats on it. And I just keep going on shoulders. And it's probably the best machine here to do shoulders on. Like, take a look at this. See, it's chest and lats, you know, whatnot. But when you come through there and you use it for shoulders, that is a great shoulder workout. And I like a good Smith, but I cut Smith out completely. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and go heavy as hell on this. Then I'll go into the other room. And y'all seen me do it before. You know, I'll do rows on what I call, not rows, but damn it. I'll do lat raise, not lat raise. Damn. What's going on? I can't think of this one. Shrugs, there we go. I'll do shrugs on the shrug station, what I call a shrug station. And then, you know, I'll probably go to 4 to 5 plates on there. Last week I only did 4. But I also did some shrugs on the actual power cage. And I'll do that, and then I'll do like 145 overhead press. So like sets of 5 sets. But now, this is the main good one for me. I forgot to take all this off. One of my favorite plates in this whole gym, and I only use them on heavy day. 35, I only use them once a week. A lot of people say they're pointless, but they're not. And people worry about them being pointless, they really, a 45 is pointless. 4 10s and a 5. There you go, 45. It'd take up more of the plate. I mean, the bar, that's all I had to do. Somebody was telling me the other day, you can just get a 25 and a 10. Well, if you're thinking like that, then 4 10s and a 5, there you go. I'm all about saving the room on that bar. So, I think they're all good. I think this is a dog toy in front of me. Pretty sure that's what that is. That being such lightweight, we're just going to do 20 and then another set of 20, but we're going to do statics. I used to love doing statics when I did more dumbbell presses, but I don't really do that much anymore. Alright, so now we're on to the 30s. So here we go. Another 10, and we're going to do another set of 10 of these. And then on 35s. I'm going to have to go get that thing. That's a 30 Allen wrench. There we go. It's coming out. Now we'll come over here and do our statics a little bit. Alright, now we'll just have the one plate on. So statics, holding one up, repping out the other one, and then vice versa. And the whole purpose is to wear this arm out, to wear each arm out, you know? Putting all that tension on there with it, holding it up, it's just giving me extra tension. That's why I do them. I used to do them like crazy on the dumbbells, but I don't really mess with dumbbells anymore. Not like I used to. I still do them. Here. I'll say mostly for fun. Kind of like today and tomorrow are my heavy days, and then I can go heavy on other days if I want, but not going to. Maybe some random heavyweight, but other than that, let's grab these 30 cups, 3 sets of 10. And there's some overheads with it too. There we go. Now back over here. Let me just go ahead and fix you real quick. Oh, wait a minute. Got to put another plate on. Let's go ahead and do this. For the first set, I'm not going to do any static. I'm just going to wrap it out. Just a little quick swing. Alright, so another 35 for 10. Then we got one more set of these to do. And it's on in the 40s. At one point, I had actually stopped doing overheads at 30, but I've recently started doing them again, and they feel really good. I think on light day, probably the third day of the week, I think I will tinker around with some single, more isolated overheads than instead of double. You definitely get more single. When I first started, I only had like I said, I started with like water jugs and all that good shit. Then as time went on, I got some good shit, and I remember I had this 30-pound dumbbell, and I would tinker with it. I only had one, and I was completely 100% natural then. I didn't take no supplements, no pre, no nothing, not even protein, just straight diet. I went from 240 to fat to fucking 130. At one point, I even got as low as 125, and that was the breaking point right there. But I would just tinker with this 30-pound, and I would curl it, isolate it, because I only had one, so of course it was isolated, and then overhead that shit. And even though I got really skinny, really good. The development was pretty good. For someone completely natural, no supplements and nothing. Just pure diet. Now we'll slap another plate on there and go from there. It's good and sweaty on my hands, even dry. Okay, let's jump to the 40s real quick. So we're going to do 3 more sets of that. Like I said, we're going to work our way up to 70s. And one thing that really hurts me on 65s here is the grip. The middle of the grip of these is fatter than all the rest of these. Oh. I'm gonna get another water. I've been watching my water consumption too. That's been doing pretty good, man. So now we're gonna slap this other plate on here. This is where we're going to stop. Because I'm good. Otherwise, I jump the back all day. I mean, last week, the day before the rest day, I did a bunch of bent over rows, barbell rows, and I hadn't done those in probably 9 years, 10 years, something like that. It's not a movement I really messed with. But it was when I first started, because I only had the basics. But since I've gotten access to gyms and stuff, I kind of slept on it. You could say I do barbell row or somehow dumbbell, I do the same motion, but not with the actual barbell. But last week I went light, I only had like 145 on there, and I just kept repping, you know. I did like 10 sets of 20. Just something lightweight. I haven't done it so long. Same thing goes to squats. When I first started, and I got an actual bar, it was a cheap-ass gold gym bar. And anyhow, a friend of mine gave me 2 10-pound plates, and then that's all I had. I just squat the shit out of that a bunch of times. And then as time went on, I find plates or keep bringing more and more. That's how I started. I used to do squats like crazy, but then as I got access to a gym and stuff, and another workout that I stopped doing. Well, you just pick up stuff and you forget stuff, or you not necessarily forget, but as time goes on, you incorporate new stuff and throw out old. And then sometimes you bring back the old. One of the reasons why was when I first started, I didn't have access to a gym. It was all water bottles and trash bags full of water or books or anything I could find that was heavy. We would just concentrate on curling it or overhead tricep extension, squatting, and whatever I could. And then I met people, which is kind of a long story on how I met them because they're community friends. They were doing shit. So that's how I got that. I stopped using the old mop handles and went to switch. And then like maybe 2 years after that, I got access to a gym. So it's been about, I guess you could say, 11 years, 12 years. I actually gym. 13 total starting at home. And you'd be surprised what you can do at home. Because like for my cardio, I would run around my living room. My living room and kitchen was connected, but they were separated by a wall. So I would do laps around it. And then I would jump from the floor onto my couch, squat, jump back down, jump back up, squat. You know. And then push-ups out the ass. I'd find new ways to do pull-ups, like on my stairs and stuff. And as I said, like I went from 245 fat down to 130 skinny as shit. Looked pretty good though. And then I ended up hitting 125, and that was when I decided to do something different. But I had fun with it though. But you know, now I can't do that anymore. Like if you were to give me a badass gym setup at home, it would just rot. And I know a couple months back, I had a decent setup, and I still got some stuff at home, but it just sat there and rotted. Like I got a weight bench outside from my oldest, and I ended up spray painting it blue. It never got used. I mean, I tinkered with it a few times, but that was that. And I still got some dumbbells at home, and I've got some brand new Olympic bars at home. But I used them one time, tinkered with it. And I bought that bar 3 years ago when I first came to Rona. I used it once. It's still shiny. That's all I had. So I remember I ended up getting a little weight bench. And a lot of people don't realize this, but those weight benches you get at Walmart, those what they call standard. A lot of places call those children benches, like teenage benches. And a lot of shops and stuff, if you go to them and you see the same bench here, they call it standard at Walmart. This place will call it a teen bench or a kid bench. And that's because they're so damn narrow. Like if I was to lay back on it now, my shoulders would do it. So, you know, but that's what I had at the time. And I thought I was pretty strong, you know. I remember I was 125, 130, and I was putting up some weight on it, and I would do my incline, decline on it. But then when I got access to my first gym, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go hard here. I threw on one plate on each side, and I'm like, I got this. And I did not have that. That 45 plate came down on me, and I had to roll it off in front of every woman I was embarrassed. And that's when you realize that the weights at home are not the same as here. A little similar, but not a lot. Back. Let me fix you again there. It freezes on me sometimes. It's like my dick. That's kind of gay. Anywho. A little sus for sure. That's why I don't pay much attention to a lot of it. Some I do. I'm 45 times now. So 8 or 10. And I remember we're going up to the 70s for like 1 or 2, and I'm gonna sling the shit out of them. Well, like I said earlier, don't y'all be doing that. Don't do what I do. I'm not trying to teach you nothing or show you nothing. So don't try to imitate, because the form on the 70s is gonna be absolute shit. But like I said earlier, I know how much I can sling something to where I won't get hurt, and how much I can. It's not really going to be beneficial, but I'm still going to do it. Alright, hit some more back up. It's paint. You know, speaking of that, since you mentioned that, I was actually going to wear these new sweats I've had. I've got a brand new pair of sweats with the tags on them. And I've had them for about a year and a half. They're really nice. But I haven't worn them yet because I don't want to destroy them. But these sweats here are super old. And the reason I know they're so old is because I got the paint. Chase myself, but I was pretty crazy at that point, not in my right mind. I went out and got a job, and I was depressed. And I was painting houses and all that stuff. And I remember painting, and I was so out of my mind at the time. The dude had us doing we were inside. But where I live, there's a lot of tall buildings, and when I'm crazy like that, I'm super anxious. And we were painting this one room, and I remember we were in there painting, and it was on like the 3rd, 4th floor, and I looked out the window, I said, oh boy. And I remember I was holding on to the carpet. I was like a mile away with a paintbrush, laying flat on the floor trying to paint the trim. I was so scared.
I was terrified, man. But that's because I was crazy, though. Otherwise, I still would have been scared. Like right now, I'd be scared of shit still. But I would know better than to even try to do it. Alright, one more set of the 45s. Damn. Gosh, I went on the wrong hole. Car situation. Oh, yeah, but that old man, all he did was bump me. But I guess now I filed a claim against him. And I didn't mean to file a claim. I just called him up and was like, hey, can y'all get it inspected? About 2 weeks later, they said that I filed a claim and that they're going to put me up in a rental and they're going to take a look at it, fix whatever's going on. So I was like, okay, shit. But all he did, he said his foot slipped off the brake and he bumped me. Now I did tell him, I said, look, you're gonna have to give me your insurance. He tried to leave 3 times. And I said, man, you gotta give me that insurance, because, you know, I drive a brand new car, basically. So, you touch my shit, you're touching your ass. Good. The person with me, they were in the passenger seat, they said, don't get out, act crazy, which is exactly what I was gonna do. And then I see it's a little crippled up old man. And like I said, he bumped me. So hopefully he didn't damage it, but he did scratch the back end of the bumper. So I would like him to replace the whole bumper. He did scratch. So, you know, and I did file that thing. So I didn't know that was filing a claim. I just called his insurance. He was like, hey, he telling me I need it inspected. But the scratch, I'd like for him to replace the bumper at least, and whatever else he damaged. See, I had full coverage, I guess he did too. So, if I hit someone, I know they would, you know, get money from me. So I'm going to take money from them. Come on. Boy that just left here, he's pretty damn strong. I tell people all the time, you can't sleep on him, because he does this reverse grip. He'll get over here on the incline, and he'll do reverse grip of like 225, sometimes a little heavier. And you might be thinking, oh, reverse grip, that ain't much. He's on an incline for 1. 2, I do kind of like mid grip myself. If I'm doing tries, then obviously it's close grip. But he'll do reverse grip, wide, boom, boom. I ain't ever seen somebody go that wide on any bar before. So bro's strong as shit. You can't sleep on him, that's for sure. There's a lot of people you can't. You might look at somebody and be like, oh, they can't do shit. And then they prove you wrong. So you can't sleep on everybody. I'm just gonna do like 5 reps of these. Ooh, fuck. That felt pretty good. I need to go through here with that Allen wrench and fix all these. They won't hold them for long, but it does tighten them. Let me fix that real quick. Whew. Yeah, I don't really answer a lot back. So we we've done. 2 cents. Let's add some weight. I would love to throw 5 on here, but I've noticed now my grip gets super fucking wet. And you're like, oh, it's moving now. I do. As soon as my hand touches it, sweat. Moist, you know. But we're gonna go for 5 plates. And might just force it out. You know, I had to force that shit. Because like I said, when moisture gets on it and on that grip, if you take these handles off and it's just a straight metal, it's gonna rip every one of the pallets clean off the hand and hurt that bitch. Same thing goes with the rubber too. I mean, it doesn't feel much better, but yeah, it's the sweat on my hands that gets me. Let's go ahead and bang this out. Woo! Might have to go shit after that. I don't know. So let's see what we can do with these 55s real quick. Should have washed my hair last night. I shaved, but I didn't wash my hair. Really need to have someone, last time I did, had somebody go over my face with like a straight razor, all over my forehead, and they just, what they do is you shave with a regular razor first, then they lotion your face up really good with all these hydrating lotions. Then they take one of those edgers, you know, for like your eyebrows, and they scrape your whole face, they scrape all that shit off. Then they take a straight razor, and they put a little pressure so you do get cut a little bit. But they scrape with that, lotion again, and then cut with that edger. And it gets all that dead skin off. Makes your face feel really good. It hurts, but it feels really good after. Let's go ahead and grab these 55s and do what we can with them. Ooh. 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 Easy money. Easy money. Easy money. Come on. Shit. Now that was good. Whew. Had to take a piss real quick. Let's go on and get back out of here.